Hey guys, how's it going? Mike here for the Otakuology podcast. I'm here with Phil. He is the creator, writer of, um, how would you describe it, Phil? It's a traveling guide, correct?
Right. It's a traveling guide. Yes.
And it's the Black Person's Guide to Doge, South Korea, correct?
Daegu, South
Daegu,
Korea. Yeah.
sorry, Daegu, South Korea. Um, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, for one, hi everybody. I'm Phil. I go by the Black Explorer. Uh, so what inspired me, and I've been asked this question a lot before, is why
hmm
is it black travel?
hmm
And and you probably saw I mentioned in my book and also my previous book. The reason I kind of focus on more on black travel, particularly, is because when it comes to travel in general, usually, especially in Asia, for instance,
hmm
like I said, it's like usually, now I want to make this clear, like all foreigners get straight at, but usually those of a
Uh-huh.
darker complexion get the more looks than the white
hmm
person can ever face.
Okay, because that was one of the things that I kind of gravitated towards
Yeah.
in your book, and I was curious about that.
Mhm.
Like, what were your experiences first going over there, socializing with Koreans?
Right.
What was that like for you? Is it still the same thing like you had, like you written in your book, or is it a little different now
Well,
that
no,
you
it's still the
since
same
you've been
thing.
over there for a couple of years, right?
Oh, same thing. It's still the same scenario. People stop and stare, but especially it depends on like where you go in Korea.
Okay.
Like, say if you in the capital, the downtown area of Seoul, right? Okay, nobody's
hmm
really gonna care as much. Now, for
hmm
me, I'm a tall guy. Like, I'm 6'7", 200 centimeters tall. So of course,
Yeah.
people will still stop and stare at me if they see me, especially the older generations for sure, and
Oh,
the very
okay.
young.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and so, and like I said, it's usually mostly just out of curiosity and fascination because again,
Mhm.
most Koreans don't really interact with foreigners, like unless they work with them or like as
Okay.
ESL English teacher, like some do.
Mhm.
Most interactions with foreigners are pretty limited,
Mhm.
and so for a lot of Koreans, I think most and also military too. I forgot about that. For
Mhm.
most Koreans, usually they kind of believe what they see in media, like they kind of believe heavy on stereotypes. So what they see,
Okay.
if they see a black person, they were from either Africa
Mhm.
or Obama, LeBron James, basketball player, hip hop rapper. I also heard like Russian girls, like any white girl, like, most white girls,
Uh-huh.
especially blonde white girls, they think, oh, you're Russian, you're either American
Oh, wow.
or you're a Russian prostitute, Russian hooker, or something like
Oh,
that.
man. So correct me if I'm wrong. You're a
Mhm.
teacher, correct? You're teaching over in South Korea?
Yes, ESL, English as
How,
a second language.
how long have you been doing that, and what's that been like for you? What experience has that been like for you going over there?
Yeah, I've been doing that since I've been here in Korea. I've been here since May 2016, so going at the time
Okay.
of recording 5 years.
Uh-huh.
It's been interesting right now. I've worked in what we call Hagwons or English academies, after school English academies.
Uh-huh.
Like think of like after school civil learning center type places.
Okay.
So they're like a for profit academy for like students to learn. Usually it could be just not English. You could do anything like there's one for math, science,
Mhm.
Korean, and other stuff too. But mostly English, usually well known one too.
Oh.
And I last year I actually switched to go into public school. So I teach
Mhm.
I started working in public school, but that didn't work out unfortunately
Oh.
uh, because of COVID.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a new school. Like I got this is my current job in elementary school on the countryside now.
Okay. Are the schools different from, say, like the countryside and the city?
I mean, they also follow the same curriculum, I guess you
Mhm.
could say. But I guess each school kind of has their own, I guess you could say, type of day offs and stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
And usually, I know student behavior varies. Also depends on where you live.
Mhm.
Because I know it's like major cities. Kids they're a little bit nice, but sometimes it can be a little more assholes than they usually are. Whereas the countryside, there are some students I know who want to learn English,
Okay.
and they have fun with it. Of course, I still got one or two badass kids, like all students, like all teachers deal with.
Yeah.
But now for my current job, honestly, I got my job literally out of sheer dumb luck and desperation.
Oh, how was that?
Well, okay, so I teach in the countryside. So in Korea, most foreigners they all want to work in the city, and usually live in the rural side is not really a popular destination for pretty much all foreigners. Because to be fair, lack of English for one,
Mm-hmm.
and two, no everybody wants is willing to want to be so far away from a major city.
Okay.
Now, in my case, as mentioned before, I was working at my first public school job was in Incheon, South Korea, which is near the capital Seoul. And my
Okay.
contract at the time, we weren't getting renewed,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
unfortunately. And so and my contract came to the close on in February 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw an ad about teaching in this my current town right now, this country town called Uljin. I'm like, okay, listen, I'll take any job where I could get it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care where I'm going. I don't care if I'm in the city or the country. I just need a public school job. And so I sent my resume in, did the interview, got the offer. And
Mm-hmm.
according to one of the, I guess, native teachers, foreign teachers who did the interview, he tells me that Uljin has a hard time kind of retaining teachers because, again, not everybody wants to live in the countryside.
Mm-hmm.
But I see it as a chance reinvent myself, get a new job, get new skills, and also more importantly, actually save money for once.
Yeah, it's not bad, you know. So what were your did you just move to South Korea to on a was it like on a whim, or did you just wanted to go there to teach?
It was kind of on a whim, and also looking, as you could probably like. Let's we wind back to like fall 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It's your last semester of university. You're sending out resumes, cover letters, all that jazz. Nothing's buying. No one's giving you an interview.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day I came across my university job board about teaching English in South Korea. I'm like, okay, let's check it out. Now, me personally, I always wanted to travel,
Yeah.
but the problem is, at least me growing up, at least like, and other African Americans also experienced this myself. Apparently,
Okay.
most of us we never knew any other black person who's traveled or lived abroad. If they did, they were
Uh-huh.
almost always military every time.
Okay. Hmm.
So, and apparently, other black podcasters, people who read the book and stuff, they said the same thing. They never knew any black people who traveled abroad that wasn't military. So it's
Okay,
kind
so
of
it's
common
it's
sense.
it's not a normal thing you're saying.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, nowadays it's a little bit more. Like especially like during the mid late 2010s, you saw a lot more
Uh-huh.
black travel. YouTubers, IG folks, and stuff like that. So,
Uh,
and I
why do
see that
you
as massive business. Honestly, I see it as a massive business opportunity because no one's
uh-huh.
done this type of content before.
Why do you think that is? Why people of color have not traveled abroad more frequently?
Uh, I would say the one cliche answer I hate to say it is money is a big
Okay.
part, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's a part, but I think the main factor is because now, like I said, African Americans, Black people, we're pretty conservative as a whole. Like
Uh-huh.
we typically stick to our own, and we
Uh-huh.
don't usually do things outside of our comfort zone. Like we don't do things unless we know of a black person doing something. So, for example, we would never play golf because without Tiger Woods, no one would be playing golf, basically.
Uh-huh.
So, and again, I guess also that fear because
Mm-hmm.
America, we had like this whole history about being a racist country, right? So we're kind of
Yeah.
afraid that all other countries might be racist, but really, it's not. They're not.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
ignorance from here, spots from here and there, but again, it's not like something
Mm-hmm.
like you gotta be worried about. Like as you know, you could be
It's
on
it's
guard like
not
movie in America.
it's not something you personally deal with on a day-to-day basis living in
No, I
Korea.
mean, yeah, no. Now there is xenophobia against all foreigners, especially
Uh-huh.
nowadays, thanks to the virus.
Yeah.
But compared to America, it's like yeah, it's really a cakewalk. Like I'm not worried about
Oh.
it.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. So, when you were creating and
Mhm.
writing this book series,
Mhm.
because I noticed you did have one for another town.
Yes.
How long did it take you to do the research and write these books?
The first book was in Incheon, Incheon.
Uh huh.
Um, actually, I took it was all summer because last summer I wrote and published that book last summer,
Mm-hmm.
and last year when I was like that job back my first job in Incheon, I got kind of as you say got put on leave
Okay.
because I worked at an English center in my school at elementary school, but we never opened up a single time because of the pandemic.
Oh.
Now, originally, we are supposed to take the summer off, like be closed for the summer, and we open up for fall semester. So I
Mm-hmm.
took that summer, to go ahead, go out, do research. That was for the first book because I lived in the city, so it was pretty easy for me to go
Mm-hmm.
out there and get pictures and then come back home.
Mm-hmm.
Daegu, that took a little bit longer because it was a little bit further away, about 3 hours away,
Okay.
3 4 hours away. So, and I had to really plan it out because I had to I had to time it to make sure case numbers are a little bit lower enough to where like okay, it's safe to travel,
Okay.
to and from.
So is your plan to hit every city in South Korea
Uh,
eventually?
yes, actually, my next book, and I decided, I guess you could say, my motivation came back.
Okay.
Uh, so now I'm actually gonna work on my next book is gonna be the whole country of South Korea.
Oh, oh, cool.
Yeah, I want to be able to hit every city, of course, but just I got a general idea of what I
Yeah.
want to take a look in.
Uh-huh. Um, has your book been positively received once it was released?
Yes, very much so. Definitely got interest. Reviewers, podcasters I went on to, they
Uh-huh.
all said like now they want to go check out South Korea when it's safe to travel, of course.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So
That's good to
apparently it
hear.
does. I guess I did something right.
Yeah, because when you reached out to me, I was like, "Oh, this is a interesting topic. I've never thought about
Mhm.
this or heard about this." 'Cause
Right.
when you reached out to me, you talked telling me about your book, and I was like, "Oh, this is something that I never would have thought of." But in your book, you talk about particularly finding clothes in South
Mm-hmm.
Korea. You being
6
taller
7.
than
Yeah.
most South Koreans, was it hard for you to find clothes? C-
I mean, you can, but the problem is the best option would be having going to near Seoul or Pyeongtaek, where the army base is over there.
Uh-huh.
That's where it's in Seoul. So it's like just imagine trying to drive 4 5 6 hours on the weekend just go buy some clothes.
Uh-huh. Oh
I'm not
wow.
doing that.
Cuz correct me if I'm wrong. Are the sizes different over there?
They are. I mean, now South Koreans they're a lot more taller than North Koreans
Okay.
because they have more food, more nutrition,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And also, now in a lot of Asian cultures, right, particularly East Asia, it's
Mhm.
all about looking slim and petite for women, especially
Okay.
for women. So for men, like for example, right, you don't really like compared to the West, right? Everybody's trying to be like jacked, like Hulk, but muscular,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Again, in Korea, it's more like trying to look more slim,
Mhm.
like yes, okay, you may have muscle too, but it's not like you're trying to be like Hercules, built. And
Oh.
especially for women too, Korean women, like you gotta look slim, you gotta look thin.
Hmm. Interesting. Why is that? Like, is it just because of their society in general?
Right. It's always kind of in this historical thing, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Not
Hmm.
just Korea, but China, Japan. Again, it's a long, long history about why that way it is.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So in this in your books, I'm looking at it right now.
Right.
Um, you discussed gaming culture in Korea for a
Mm-hmm.
brief for like a chapter or two. You talked about buying video games and stuff like that. But there was this one thing that caught my interest in this book, and it
Mm-hmm.
was the 8-story arcade building
Yes, yes, I remember
with the
that.
like a giant Ferris wheel on top of it.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, that place. Yeah, inside there is a little arcade. I forgot. I had the pictures of it, but the quality wasn't there, so that's why I didn't put it in the book.
Okay.
So they it's like an 8 story mini mall with there's a what's the burger place? It's a franchise. I can't remember the name of it right now. It escapes
Uh
me.
huh.
Yeah, I got that. I seen a few restaurants. I seen a arcade too, clothes stores, and on top there's like a Ferris wheel and some other rides you can get on. That place opened up early this year in 2021.
Okay.
So
Oh, does Korea have a big gaming culture?
yes, very much so. Mostly PC and mobile is more popular.
Okay.
Uh, Now, for example, like there wasn't like I'm a big fan of Super Smash Brothers, so I was part of the
Hmm.
scene in America. Right, went to a couple tournaments. Coming to Korea, there really wasn't a small scene. There wasn't really a scene. Nobody's really playing
Okay,
Smash Bros. You have
that
to actually
was
find a foreigner to who
uh
plays it.
that was
Now,
actually
when
gonna.
the,
Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah,
Oh.
when the Switch came out,
Hmm.
then it started to blow up. Like there's now we have like official Super Smash Bros. Scene here in Korea.
Uh huh. That was gonna be my next question because I
Yes,
saw
sir.
that on your in your book you were ranked, was it sixth
Hmm?
in the rankings for Super Smash Brothers?
Oh no, that's what's in my Smash Bros. ID.
Oh, okay. I
I mean,
misread that.
I'm not that good.
Oh, so
Plus,
has
to be
has
honest with you, I haven't played in months.
okay. So when you got there, the
Mhm.
scene wasn't that big, and then
No,
it's blown up though.
definitely. I remember last it was a 2019, summer 2019. There was a
Hmm.
big massive tournament called Blackout. I think it was called. They had like about 250 people signed up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, for Korea, that's huge. And now me, I wanted to go so badly, but
Uh
that was the
huh.
day I had to move to my new job, to a different job,
Oh.
so I couldn't go.
So are the tournaments a pretty big deal there? Like, do
Mm.
people get really hardcore in the Super Smash Brothers tournaments?
Now Koreans
Say
are
like
yeah,
over here in the
yeah.
U.S.
Now to be fair, Koreans get very competitive almost everything. They're just competitive in
Okay.
general. So of course, it's competitiveness in Smash Bros. As well as Tekken and Street Fighter,
Uh huh.
particularly. I've been to one place. There's a place in Seoul called Core A Studios,
Uh huh.
and it's like I guess you could say like a fighting game cafe. So like you pay about $10, you get free beer, drink, and then play as much fighting games that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go there a lot when it was open, even during COVID. At times when it's safe to do it with
Yeah.
limited
Yeah.
capacity, of course. They haven't. I think the last time they opened up physically was in I want to say November 2020. They haven't opened up since.
Okay.
And I guess you could say I kind of went on. We did the online tournaments every now and then, but I guess I lost my interest in playing Smash Bros. Because there's no meetups.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Well,
which I
hopefully
miss
that
dearly.
picks up again for you.
Yeah, hopefully
You know.
soon, but we'll see. Now with the vaccine rates going over here, we might have a shot.
Yeah. Has things taken a hit over there in Korea because of the COVID, or
Mhm. Oh,
is it
definitely.
different?
Everybody got hit, just like everybody else. Shops been shut. Businesses have closed permanently.
Uh
Mom and
huh.
pop restaurants, businesses, even during the times when they had to shut down temporarily. Some of them just didn't weather the storm because obviously, most like many businesses around the world, many of them have barely made a profit, barely survived.
Okay, that's sad. That's sad to hear.
Yeah. Actually, in the Daegu book, I know there's some anime theme. There's an anime
Hmm.
theme ramen shop I wanted to go to. And this, I think I want to take a picture of this Gundam model. I think place. I wanted to put it in the
Oh,
book, but I ran out of time.
yeah. Are you into Gunpla at all?
No, I'm not in the mechs. I'm not in the mech anime.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
can't get in mechs myself. Like it's just not for me.
Oh, because I know I actually really love building Gunpla, and I know that in Korea they do have a pretty big presence in Gunpla over
Yeah.
there. That was going to be one
Yeah.
of my questions for you, but you answered it
Oh,
myself.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's a what's it UK electronic market in Seoul.
Uh huh.
Uh, on the same floor where you can buy video games,
Uh
there's
huh.
also like an area for anime, so you can buy anime figurines and stuff over there.
Is anime big over there, just like in Japan and everywhere
Um,
else?
I would say maybe it's hard to
Maybe.
say.
Okay.
Mostly because the whole Korea Japan controversy. So it's
What's
got.
that?
Oh, okay. For those who aren't aware, pretty much Koreans hate Japan, like hate
Oh.
Japan, anything
Oh.
Japan.
Okay.
It is really because of the history between the two nations. With
Okay.
Japan having a long history of invading the Korean Peninsula numerous occasions, even especially during World War II.
Okay.
So when I mentioned in the book, like when you come to Korea, you kind of want to be hesitant how be careful how you react, how you say when you talk about Japan
Uh
and
huh.
any type of lie. If you talk about I've been to Japan, or you talk about anime, because you don't know who you might piss off.
Okay, and is that's a big thing over there, is not wanting to talk about Japan at all.
Yeah, like there's almost even pre-COVID, like up to now, you'll find a protest about no. You'll probably see a sign or two about no Japan or something like that.
Uh huh.
And of course, I'm like, listen, I'm just a foreigner. That's not my business. I'm saying out this one. Even when I do my lesson in other countries, right? I kind of cringe when I see a Japan flag in the books, right? Because like
Yeah,
I don't know how it's gonna play out.
yeah. That's interesting to think about. I never would have thought that they had problems with each other. Well, I never heard about that.
Yeah, I didn't know about it either. I know, of course, Japan was bad during World War II, but I didn't know about the Korea side, like what they did. Like
Because
it was brutal.
I know that they had problems with China,
Yeah,
but I did not know about Korea. That's interesting.
yeah.
So,
If you ever get a chance, I think what's that history called? Look up as it Korean Comfort Girls. Like that was some
oh,
dark stuff.
I think I have heard about that.
Yeah, I think there was a video, like some animated film about that too. Like,
I think I have. Yeah. Now that I remember it, yeah, that was fucked up.
yeah, I didn't even know about that. So I came to
Yeah.
Korea.
Um. So, one of my other questions for you with
Sure.
your, I was kind of stalking you on Instagram a little bit, just to get to know you a little bit better, And it
Stalker.
says you went to the Pokemon Championships in 2019.
Oh, that was no, it was like I guess you say like the opening. Like there's like a video game tournaments.
Okay.
Pokemon VGC TGC tournament.
Uh huh.
Yeah, but that was for the first Pokemon Sword and Shield tournament in Seoul. Yeah, that was like just a month after the game came out, and that was like the first tournament they had.
Are you
And
really?
unfortunately, that was the next tournament. I think was going to be around March or April
Uh
2020.
huh.
And of course, we could probably say why that didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously.
That unfortunately didn't happen. Of course, uh, I've been to a few tournaments. Like I went to the Sun and Moon and Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Those were a lot of fun. Of course, I didn't make it anywhere. I'm not that good. I only made like won like 2 rounds at most. I only got 2 wins at most.
Uh huh.
Uh,
Is the scene over there pretty hardcore for
yeah,
Pokemon?
like I said, Koreans take anything competitive. Like when I've been to tournaments, people that had like pens and papers writing down
Oh
notes
wow.
on the opponents on the move. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So are you really big into Pokemon? Like
yeah.
like a
Like
big
I,
fan of Pokemon?
yeah, I would say I'm more like a heavy casual. Like
Okay.
I like to play, but I'm not deep competitive and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like
What?
I'll give you like if I do play, I'm
Uh-huh.
not going down without a fight, basically.
Okay. What what generation is your favorite so far of Pokemon?
Uh, I'm either Gen 5 or Generation Gen 8. I like what they have,
Uh
the designs of the characters.
okay. I'm not up to my current gen, so I don't know all
Yeah,
of them.
that's all right.
I stopped with gold.
Ooh,
That
yeah. I mean, for me at least, growing up, like how can I say, like okay, so I played up to Crystal,
uh-huh.
and then and like from Gen 3 and onward, I pretty much played on and off when I was bored or had the extra cash play for it.
Yeah.
I didn't really get back into Pokemon until college when like X and Y came out.
Hmm.
When it had like kind of the revamp when it went 3D.
Yeah. Did you enjoy those games?
I did. Also, had a lot of friends, especially like during the 3DS days. We had the Street Pass, right?
Yeah.
People walk by and get tagged with people playing Pokemon X and Y. This is back in college, like during the mid 2010s, early mid
Hmm.
2010s. Good times though.
That's cool. Because it looked like you were a pretty avid Pokemon player from the way you post a lot of pictures from Pokemon. So I was curious about that
Yeah,
because my
and of course
kid.
I used it a lot of my lessons too.
Oh
To
really? How does that go? How does that go
uh,
about?
usually if it's part of a sentence, especially like if I'm doing like ABC, like for example, for my third grade class, we're reviewing ABCs, right? So I did like ABCs of the objects in the book, and also a Pokemon.
Uh huh.
So like say A is apple, A is abra, or something like that.
Uh oh. That's pretty clever.
Yeah, that's I have fun with it. Fun with them, and of course the kids know that I do play Pokemon, and it's kind of my way of saying yes, I play Pokemon, and yes, I can kick your ass. Try
have
me.
you have you challenged them into any like Pokemon battles?
It was at previous jobs I had on the 3DS. On the 3DS.
Yeah.
Of course, leading up to those events, I had students talk shit, right? And of course, they couldn't back it up.
That's funny. So going through your book again, uh, you do the Koreans have a obsession with fried chicken and beer?
Yes.
Because you talked about in your book about a festival for fried chicken and beer, and I
Yes, a
became
Vegas Civic
really
Festival.
interested in that because those are two of my
Yeah.
favorite things.
Yes. Then you'll love this festival. Like, oh,
How
I'll put
did?
it this way. You know how there's a stereotype joke about how, like, in black neighborhoods, you'll find a liquor store on liquor store and church every corner, right?
Yeah.
In Korea, it's fried chicken because they're everywhere.
Oh wow, really?
Like franchises or mom and pop shops. You'll no matter where you are, you will find a fried chicken restaurant in Korea. You won't be.
Okay. Because
And every single go ahead, please go ahead.
I know in Japan, like KFC is really big over there in like
Yeah,
Christmas time.
yeah. I know that. Yeah.
So I was curious if it was like that over there as well.
Mm, I would say I think it's yeah. Yes, it's super huge. Like people will go out, have a beer with their friends, family,
Uh
get some chicken. Order
huh.
takeout, get delivery. I'm guilty of that myself, and that's my biggest bane of my existence to my wallet since I've been here.
So, do they have many of these festivals?
I
Like
mean, there's a good amount of festivals, but
when it?
definitely the Daegu Chimney Festival is definitely my by far my favorite festival I've been to.
Uh huh.
I only went one time in 2019. That was the first time I went, and of course, I was excited for the 2020 festival, but of course, that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just
Yeah.
imagine like finding stalls of like different chicken restaurant franchises, trying different styles, different variety.
Yeah. So
Honestly,
it's.
some hit great, others they're just not as good.
Have you had ones that are just like awful?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't remember. I don't remember the name of the branches though, but the franchise. But yeah, there are some. Yeah, you got your great spots, and then other ones are just straight up terrible.
Uh, you talk a lot about food as well in this
Mhm.
book. What are some of your favorite spots that you've hit up in the city? And are there any particular kinds of dishes that you really enjoyed while living
Uh,
in South Korea?
Definitely, I always believe, and I think other travelers can agree with this. Is like all best foods always at the street markets,
Okay.
the local markets. I had like my favorite dish for sure, street food dish is definitely called the hot dog. It's like a fried pancake stuffed with um, brown sugar, and a variety, depending on whoever makes it, some type of nut or seed, and
Uh-huh.
cinnamon too. So it's really delicious, but at the same time, I wouldn't recommend it if you got food allergies.
Is it kind of like a crepe?
I would say I don't know how to describe it, like a fried pancake stuffed
Huh.
with brown sugar.
Interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Oh yeah, it's definitely delicious. Definitely recommend it.
Let's see. I lost my questions. Where did they go? Um so talking about food as well cuz that was a big part of your book.
Hmm.
I was curious to know about the donut game there.
Hmm.
Are donuts a big thing there? Because you covered donuts a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's more Korea has a problem with trends. Like
Oh
once it
yeah.
dies, like I would say random donuts. It's kind of more of a trend, but it seems to be somehow still kicking right.
Uh huh.
Usually, what happens is on Instagram or whatever social media platform, if something jumps off, people will stand in line for X amount of time to, take pictures, try the food or place, right? If it seems,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and from what I've been told at the time when I was researching, now this place opened up because I used to live in Daegu before, from
Okay.
2018 to 2019 for a
Mm-hmm.
year. So that place and the place with the wheel with the Ferris wheel that opened up after I left.
Okay.
So I wasn't there when it opened up, but I
Uh
have
huh.
been. I remember walking past the place where it has Ferris wheel. I remember walking past that area while it was under construction.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was there, also say my favorite place definitely to go drink. Even though I'm not a big alcohol person, but I definitely enjoy going to a place called Go Go's.
Uh huh.
Uh, I put it in the book too. You probably see it past. Just imagine a Capri Sun size type drink with alcohol, with rum, Jägermeisters, whatever have you, for like $2 to $5, depending on the drink.
Yes, I remember you. I remember that in the book. Yes, that's. Was it like really strong?
I'm pretty sure you can make it strong. You can make it weak, whatever you like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a popular destination for everybody: Koreans, teachers, army guys, military guys.
Okay, so it's a really big destination then.
Oh, very much so. And of course, it's surrounded by and they're plots in the spot in downtown Daegu, Balmadong, where
Yeah.
there's bars and restaurants everywhere.
So what is the living situation like for you? Is it really cramped over there, or do you have like an actual house? Like, so I know in Japan, it they always have really cramped areas. It seems like.
Yeah, they do. Same similar situation in Korea, especially in the bigger cities. Like now, Korea's the challenge part compared to Japan is Korea's surrounded by mountains. It's like a
Uh
mountain
huh.
peninsula. It's like everywhere you go in Korea, there's always gonna be some type of hill or mountain.
Uh huh.
Like, even for example, I lived in this one town called Masan, right?
Uh huh.
And it's down by the sea on the like southern part of Korea. And where I was, like I was on the city side, right? But
Mm-hmm.
behind me, like if you go straight up the hill, behind the hill was the countryside, and also lead to a hiking trail too.
Yeah.
So you can say the city was built on a mountain, hill and a
Mm-hmm.
mountain. So and just like Korea too, you'll be doing a lot of walking. So you're
Mm-hmm.
probably going up and down the hills, especially at the amusement park.
Okay. Where were you originally from?
I'm from South Carolina.
Okay. So was it a big culture shock going from South Carolina to Korea?
Oh, definitely. Just going from the fact that going from America, where it's like you got a chance to meet everybody from around the world, right?
Yeah.
Now you're going to a place where everyone's homogenous, like everyone looks the same. So you can't hide. So like if North Korea attacks, I can't hide. I can't blend in anywhere.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
and I guess I mean, just like anywhere where you go, really, like
yeah.
culture shock happens to you when you travel. Even in America, when you leave the South and go to the West Coast or North,
Yeah.
you get different culture shock, and then vice versa. When you come back, you get the reverse culture shock.
That's most definitely true because I'm from Texas,
Right.
and when you go up north, it's a whole different ball game. So I was curious, like how different it was from you know going from here to South Korea. Uh, but you do kind of cover that in your book.
Mm.
Do you ever plan to go up north to North Korea?
Technically, it's not really possible to do so.
Okay.
Like you have to go adjust some leaps, hoops, and bounds, and then you have to actually go to China to go to North Korea.
Oh, okay. I was curious about that. Would you cover all of Korea?
Nah, I'm not going over there.
No, no, not worth it.
No, I'm afraid I
Yeah,
might get kidnapped and end up becoming the basketball coach for North Korea.
I always. I mean, while I was reading the book, um, I kept thinking about the interview in my head
Yeah.
from the movie with North Korea. And I was like, oh,
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man, I hope South Korea is not like that, which I
Nah,
don't think
that's
it
full
is.
opposite.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a really interesting book to read, and I look forward to reading more
Mm.
um from your series of books. I just found out today that you wrote another book, so I'm gonna have to go read that one now as well. Uh, to to uh to learn more about Korea and
Right.
stuff, because I honestly didn't know much about Korea. I know that they have their own kind of manga over there, which is called
Mama.
manhwa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have like the Korean dramas and the K-pop and stuff
Right.
like that. And now I want to know more because your book, um, it perked my interest to learn more about this other country that I didn't know nothing about. Really, it was kind of very much a mystery to me, or maybe I just never really found out about it. I know more about North Korea than I do South Korea.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't feel bad. I was in that same boat when I first decided to move to South Korea. Like I didn't know anything about the country. All I knew was Gangnam Style, Samsung TV, and or smartphone, and that's it. So
Yeah. So what is next for you? Uh, are you with your book, with your books? I should say. Are you going to try to get them like physically print?
at some point in time, I'll do physical prints, but for now,
Uh
I
huh.
think I'm just gonna focus on doing ebooks only. Just
Okay.
because for now, okay, now my first two book, Incheon and Daegu, is really more of a test to see if there's demand for the type of book for
Mm-hmm.
anybody to be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it was, then okay, I'm gonna start doing more in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the plan all along.
Was it hard for you to get your books published?
No, well, of course, I had to like look around to find out how can I go around the publishing route,
Mm-hmm.
and I settled for this company called Publish Drive.
Okay.
And what I like about them is, you do pay a subscription fee every month, but in
Uh huh.
exchange, you get access to Google Play Store, Apple Books, and a lot of retail ebook retail sites.
Okay.
And also, you get to keep all your commissions that you make from the
Okay.
book, compared to say if I just stuck with Amazon only or Google Play Store only.
Okay. So if I pay the $9-10 for your
Right.
book, you would get all the profits for that then.
In a sense, yeah, after at everything, I get the money, after taxes and all that
Yeah.
jazz.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
that's good to hear.
yeah. Compared to, and I do like the idea of that. I did tell a friend about that, and of course, it wasn't for him per se. Like he tried it out and said, okay, it's not for me.
Yeah.
But I do like what they have to offer,
Uh huh.
so that's why I keep using them.
Are you gonna eventually try to branch out and try and maybe find like a bigger publisher or do something different down the line once you've released more books?
No, I'm gonna stay independent, because
Okay.
get a lot more control,
Uh huh.
and of course with a major publisher, they take a bigger take a big commission.
Yeah.
So
Has has the book been profitable for you
uh,
since you've released them?
they're doing okay. Again, these as an author, as these I wish it was profitable, but at the same time, it's more a realization that it's not easy to sell books
Mm-hmm.
as I thought it would be. Um, One, because it's I guess from other authors from what I gather, and other authors have already said it is like it's easier. The easy part is making the book. The harder part is just selling and promoting the book, and where I get people trying to interest and buy it.
Oh, okay. Have
So
you have you thought about doing like YouTube at all and doing like traveling vlogs on YouTube for South
uh,
Korea?
that I'm all trying to doing with them with TikTok right now. Anyway, so
You're on TikTok?
yeah,
I'll have to go follow you on TikTok. What are you under on TikTok?
same name at the Blur Explorer.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to put the link down below so people can check you out and follow you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm on Instagram on that Instagram at the Blur Explorer. Um, so I do TikToks. I'm trying to get a little bit more of that. I usually do combine. I might try to get more into skit type stuff, but also do like food videos and like
Mm-hmm.
travel stuff, places and stuff around Korea.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so like I said, my next plan, I did want to write a book about the whole country of South Korea,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to wait a while because I wanted to make sure I got fully vaccinated, and then
Yeah.
wait until cases numbers get to a safer level before I decide.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go out, go take these pictures.
Mm-hmm. How how long do you think that would take to create, book wise, when covering all of South Korea?
Honestly, it's gonna take more than a year at this
Yeah.
pace
Okay.
because
Because
I
of
will. Yeah,
because of all the traveling and stuff you'd have to do.
right, and also because of the pandemic. So, well, that
Yeah.
makes it harder to uh even think about like even for me, for example, like I actually thought about trying to do like a Kickstarter thing for this book, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to promise folks a book when I don't even know when it's safe for me to travel
Yeah. Yeah.
to
That's
be safe.
the
But
that's the downside for that. Most definitely.
yeah, and it's hard to say when it's gonna be ready because you just don't know what's gonna happen in the future. So
Yeah, that's definitely true. But I just want to say thank you for coming on. This was a blast to talk to you. Um, Plug yourself, plug all the things that you want to plug, and I'll make sure to put all your social media links down below
mhm.
and the description for the podcast. I just want to say thank you for coming on and thank you for spending time with me talking to you about this book. And I know it's kind of late for you at the moment.
Yeah,
I think it's like what, like 12 o'clock.
yeah, it's 12, 11 a.m. in the morning for here.
Yeah. It was very hard to schedule you,
Yeah, I know. I know.
but I
I,
just
I
want
do
to.
that a lot. I have that same problem with other podcasters too. So you're not alone. I do the
But I
same
just
thing
want to
with
say
both.
thank you for spending time with me. This is a lot of fun to talk to you.
No, thank you for having me on. Thank you
Yeah.
for giving me a chance. If you're all interested, check out the books. The Black Child's Guide to Incheon, Incheon,
Hmm.
Incheon, South Korea, and the Black Child's Guide to Daegu, Daegu. They're ebooks, and you can buy them on Amazon right now.
Yes.
Uh, for those who are into, I don't know, if you're in the Battlefield, if you're looking forward to Battlefield 2042, I'll talk about one of the maps. It's called a place called Songdo, which talks about which is the area that's going to be the new Battlefield game. So you want to check that out too.
Oh, cool. But yeah, thank you for coming on. This was a lot of fun. Go check out his book. Go check out his TikTok. Now I have to go check out your TikTok. But I read your book. Now I'm gonna go read the second book that you wrote as well because I want to learn more about South Korea.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Thank you for coming on. This was a lot of fun.
No, thank you for having me on.
Thank you.